It is middle of March right now. Easter's coming up, so I figured I'd give you a couple of notes about Easter you might not know. A lot of the stuff, if you ever read the story, there's all the stuff where Jesus goes here and Jesus goes there. You know, this stuff happened, these little weird details are given. Well, those details all mean something. And so I'm looking at Matthew and going back to the Old Testament. I want to show you what stuff meant in the book of Matthew about Easter with the Old Testament. We're actually at Passover at this point. So you're in Matthew 26, verse 57. And those who laid hold of Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and elders were assembled. So they take Jesus to Caiaphas, right? This is, right before we're about to put him on the cross. Peter followed him. The chief priests, elders, all sought counsel, false testimony against Jesus to put him to death, but they found no one who would do that. Even though many false witnesses came forth, two false witnesses came. Even though many false witnesses came forward, they found none. But at last, two false witnesses came forward and said, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days." I'm trying to set the backstory here. This actually ain't what I'm trying to get at. And the high priest arose. This is where it gets to the part I want to tell you about. The high priest arose and looked at Jesus. Goes, "Do you say nothing? What is this? What is it these men testify against you?" But Jesus kept silent. He had nothing to say. Lost my page when I went and put it away there. What do you say? Where you kept testifying against you? Jesus kept silent. And then, this is where it gets interesting. Caiaphas said to him, "I put you under oath by the living God." That means something, by the way. Leviticus 5:1 is what that means. He put him under an oath of Leviticus chapter 5. So, tell us, he says, "I put you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." 64. Jesus said to him, this is the one time, remember all the time through the crucifixion, Jesus ain't said nothing. He's just being quiet and they're doing this stuff and he's keeping his mouth shut. He was under oath. This time he answered. Jesus said to him, "It is as you say, as you've said." So in other words, it is as you've said. Yes, I am the Christ. Yes, I am the Son of God. It is as you have said. Nevertheless, I say to you hereafter that you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven. This is where it gets really interesting. Verse 65. Then the high priest tore his clothes. That verse was there for a reason, guys. That meant something. The high priest tore his clothes, saying, "He has spoken blasphemy. What further need do we have of witnesses? Look now, you have heard his blasphemy. And what do you think?" They'll answered, "He is deserving of death." That's Leviticus 10:6. Now, I want to go back to this. The high priest tore his clothes. Leviticus 10:6. If you tear your clothes as the high priest, you are deserving of death. You have nullified yourself as the high priest. And now another high priest must be chosen. Well, who's the next high priest? It was Christ. Christ is the next high priest. Caiaphas, in a fit of rage or a fit of whatever, tore his clothes and nullified the high priesthood, thereby making it to where Jesus can now claim, legally under Jewish law, Jesus now can make the claim of being the high priest. That's what happened there in verse 65. All the little details, that's what they were pointing at. So go read Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. Go read Leviticus chapter 10. You'll learn all about this stuff and all that was being said there. And it's all this stuff in this book is here for a reason, guys. So I just wanted to share that little note with you about Easter. When you're studying this stuff, there's so much stuff that happened, and there's so little space in this book to put the notes about what happened. When you're reading things, especially when you're reading about Christ, we only get 4 books about Christ. When you're reading about him walking this earth, every little detail mattered. It all meant something. And in the book of Matthew, it almost all points you to the Old Testament, fulfilling Jewish law, especially in the book of Matthew. So, hope you found that helpful, reading about Jesus and Easter. And it's been a while since I've done a video for the Bible study channel, so we're going to put this one over there. I might save this one over here for the Offroad Channel too, since I'm up here in the Cohutta wilderness, having an absolute blast of a time. I hope you enjoy this little Bible study I threw in there. One more verse. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 20. I think it's 20. Hebrews chapter 7. I don't remember what verse it is. Jesus became the high priest under the order of Melchizedek. That's when it happened. Right there. Left that part out. That's it, everybody.